Hey everybody, welcome back. It's DJ. We're going back into PickWrung. This is episode 6. Today we're going to start trying to use some of that flux stone, and we will actually get our farms going. Well, that's the plan anyway. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so we have a bunch of flux stone here. We did set up the mine carts. We set up the path for the minecarts. We need to set up the actual minecart now. We also have some loose stones out here. So we also need to deal with all of these wild boars that we caught. This is going to definitely increase our meat on hand. So let's look. Ooh, that's a lot of wild boars. Okay, we're going to go ahead and train them up so that we can. What I'd like to do, so they need to receive training before we can take them out of their cages for butchering or for putting into a farm, anything like that. So right now, all of those are pretty far away from this butcher station here. Looks like they're already starting to pull the alpacas down. These farm stations are used for milking. So that's why we have a couple of alpacas here. Let's look real quick. We do have like floor fungus, cave moss. It's not saying sparse. Like this one says sparse cave moss. Just trying to figure out when this room might be ready for us to move our alpacas down. I think we might be good. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to jump around a little bit as I see the things that we need to do. So let's go ahead and make a new zone. Let's go ahead and assign all of our alpacas. And our one llama. That way they'll be easy to bring over here to this milking station. What I'd like to do also is I'd like to remove maybe some of this area here, something like that. So right now, if I train a wild boar in this cage, in this stockpile, and then say I wanted to butcher that wild boar, they would pull the boar out of the cage and then haul the wild boar up here to my butcher's shop and my tanner shop. So I'm going to open up this area right here, and I'm going to have cages that have, say, wild boars in it brought into this area. So then I can just pop them out of the cages and quickly back and forth. What's going to happen that is something we'll need to take care of is the size of my outdoor refuse pile. It's only a 3x3. And so that's going to be a lot of leftover parts from dealing with these wild boars. So I can quantum stockpile parts, or I can increase the size, or I can put in basically a smashing atomic smasher that will destroy parts as they're brought here. I don't care for those as much. They're really dangerous. Basically, this bridge here or this bridge here that is up right now, you can make this into a smashing unit, which will smash anything that it comes down onto and completely destroys it. We'll eventually need one for getting rid of some of this extra stuff, because we're going to have a lot of stuff. I definitely need to get the farm going because the seeds, I can definitely maybe put a farm in up here, but that's kind of jumping around a lot. So let's just finish mining this out. The dwarves of the Theater of Emeralds now know a few facts about wild boar training. The more facts you know, the easier it is and the faster it is to train some animal up. So let's put a new stockpile in right here. We'll take the whole area, sure. I'm going to do a custom. We're going to say animals and wild boars. And then we'll come down here to this stockpile. And we will turn off wild boars. Now what we should see is the dwarves should come along, grab these cages. There we go. If I look at Olin, Olin is currently carrying a wild boar cage. Let's follow Olin up. And Olin's going to drop that cage in this stockpile here. Great. And go about their daily stuff. Olin went and grabbed a piece of lumber. I was going to drop that down here for this quantum stockpile. Sometimes it's good just to watch your dwarves and see what they're doing. Yep, we're getting a good collection of wild boars up here. What we can do later is once we start... so they've already started slaughtering the wild boars just because of the auto butcher. The counts on auto butcher, we probably had more males because males, adult males is set to 2. And so we probably had 3 or 4 adult males. And so they're just going to go ahead and start doing that auto butcher aspect of it. And they're already going to start taking and bring in parts of that animal. So we have hoofs and nervous tissue and skulls left over. They'll take the skin and they'll make leather out of the skin. We could process some of this ivory and bone into rings, crowns, scepters, that sort of thing. I tend to avoid using bone. Rock is my go-to for building a lot of that. So Aloth is hauling. You notice when Olin was hauling that wild boar, Olin was walking at pretty good speed, and Aloth is walking really slow. And I bet that is the weight that Aloth is carrying. I'll just guess because I don't see Aloth being weak, but I'm guessing that the type of cage that Aloth is carrying is probably a metal cage. It's probably from when the trading post got destroyed. We ended up with a lot of extra types of cages. If you stick with wooden cages, they're light, they're easy to move around. But once we get these metal cages, yep, a tin cage. So let's look at that tin cage. Yeah, that cage weighs a lot. Even once the wild boar gets taken out of there. Yeah. So here we are tanning that hide. So they went and came and grabbed that hide from that boar. And they're starting to tan it. They're also going to process some of this into food. Let's go ahead and check on getting this irrigation in this farm. We could start... Yeah, let's go ahead and deal with the wild boars while we're here. Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to select the wild boars. And now I want to set row targets to 0. Okay. And if you remember, they drop off this list because 0 targets don't show on this list. If I turn it back on, wild boars are back, but they're all set to 0. So now they're going to start slaughtering the wild boars. These cages will get empty, and the cages will be brought back down. So let's go ahead and get this area irrigated. Since this is on soil, we really don't need to irrigate. I just wanted to set up an irrigation because it's fun to set up, and we may get a little bit better yield off of it. You can really set these up for, if I wanted to, I could put a farm down here on straight stone, but I would need to put some water on it, build up some mud. So we're going to do that here. We have soil here we could have planted, but we'll do it this way. Let's make sure this one is open. These two are open. These two are locked and closed. We'll just make sure all of these have mechanisms on them, so they're linked to buildings, they're linked to switches, so that I can open these and close these remotely. We just want to make sure we did that. Yep, looks like we're all good there. So all I really need to do is open up that spot right there, and then once the river thaws, that will flow. And then we want to make sure that that's closed so that we're not having water come this direction. Looks good. Looks good. We'll just do a little hole here. What I'd like to do as well is set up an above ground farm. Up here, we'll just, we're outside, so in case there's anything nasty, any creatures out here, let's just look, see. There's one more sow that needs to be trained. We have a bard singing. We have some giant crows. Wild boar reverted to its wild state. So this is one of the danger zones, is if I didn't have my wild boars really close to the butcher station and I pulled the wild boar out and I was dragging the wild boar from my stockpile up to the butcher station and it went back to a wild state, it may go wild, crazy, and a wild boar going wild. Yeah, I know. It may go crazy and attack whoever's pulling it up to the butcher station, which may be a kid. And I don't want to have a kid walking around having to deal with a wild boar. So it's just mitigating risk, mitigating danger. So see, right now we do have... we only have a couple spots left open here, and the butcher station, they haven't really started processing, so we are going to probably need to have the... Let's go ahead and set up the quantum stockpile here as well. So first we need to adjust our stockpile. Stockpile, pick the stockpile. I'm doing a little adjustment here. I'm gonna hit the eraser. I'm gonna erase these two. And one for the minecart and one for the new stockpile. Okay, that one's been adjusted. We'll drop down our new stockpile. This is our quantum refuse pile. This will be refuse and corpses. Okay, now we're going to build construction. We want a track stop. We want to drop it right there. I'm having things be pushed out of the minecart to the south. We'll wait for that to get built. Okay, that's built. Let's go ahead and add a new route. We're going to pick this track stop. We're going to pick one of our extra minecarts. We're going to say just refuse and corpses. we're going to grab them from this one. And we're going to remove these. One thing I want to do change real quick that I just thought of is in our standing orders. I just want to make sure no automatic web collection. We did open the cavern. We don't have anything, any path out to the cavern right now, but since the cavern is open, I wanted to make sure nobody, once I open that door, because we do have that one dwarf axe lord that wants to go out into the cavern and root around and look for monsters. So, okay, waiting for the thaw. The wild boars are starting to be slaughtered. Our meat numbers are going up. One of the kids, Malful, has grown to become a peasant. So let's go check out Malful, join in our adult dwarf society. And she disdains fairness. She's creative. She values romance. Yay, romance. That's great. Shameless, good spatial sense, but she's rude. That's not going to help her romance. She's hauling a shale toy hammer. She was probably playing with the hammer and then had her birthday, became an adult, and she's probably going to go store that hammer. Sad. Not going to be playing with the toys anymore. Let's go see where she's heading. I bet she's heading to the stockpile to drop that hammer off. Yep. Oh, sad days. Now she just gets to work on regular stuff. Hauling cages, working like my dwarves work. It would be nice to get some more dwarves. Then we can probably have a little bit more relaxation time. Have a mace dwarf visiting. Okay. So let's put a farm really quick up in here, just so that we can start planting some stuff. They've collected all the wood that was directly around the fort. So I can downsize this. I have the quantum stockpile. I don't need this big of a stockpile anymore. So let's narrow this down like this, and let's put our farm right in here. So we're going to build a workshop, farming. We're going to do a farm plot. Now I could just block in this entire area as one big farm plot, but what I like doing is I like doing like corn rows kind of, and they'll plant different seeds in each one of these rows. So I'm going to go ahead and make some more. Oh, that one has like a tree or something growing in it right now. So we're going to come back to that one in just a second. That one has a little bit of area that doesn't want to. You can see why that's happening. Do that. And we'll do that. Need soil or mud at location. So, okay to build. Let's do something like that. No soil or mud. Okay to build. Okay. We'll go ahead and unpause that. Let's look real quick at our laborers for who our planters are. We do have Zazit is a competent herbalist. That's plant gatherers. We want planters. Olin, our bookkeeper, sure. You want skilled planters because that affects the quality of what you're growing. I'd like to see Make sure this quantum stockpile's working. Just verify. Yep, we have the minecart. We have corpses and refuse. We have the stockpile selected. Okay, there we go. It is working. Wanted to make sure that was working because as they're slotting more, they're gonna keep on bringing more and more up here. This will give us a bone, a stack of bones that are slowly going to deteriorate. Here we have Olin out plowing the fields, getting them ready for planting. We'll just watch this for a minute here. Okay, the field has been plowed. Now Olin should be going and grabbing some seeds if we have some. We did gather, I guess we haven't really gathered as much above ground. We do have some of those sunberries if they haven't been eaten. Yep, here we go. Here is Olin bringing some seeds. Planting seeds. Let's take a look here. Rhubarbs. Okay, so we're growing some rhubarbs. All of our wild boars have been taken care of in an Al Pacino sort of way. That one is that statement of Al Pacino has been ingrained into my brain from long ago. When something bad's gonna happen. Okay, we were, there's a little singing going on right now. They're singing and dancing. This simulate Thrin, basically they don't have musical instruments, but they're pretending they have musical instruments. So they're simulating having those musical instruments. We have 3 people who are pretending to use musical instruments and 1 person who's chanting. So we have a little bit of a party going on. We have another Hehan. Now, if I remember correctly, Hehan's a human, and we can validate that real quick. Hehan is a human hammerman. Now, I had mentioned before that humans and dwarves wear different size of armor and clothing. So if I allow humans to join, I do have to make different sizes of clothing and armor at some point in the future. Let's look at Hehan. Competent hammerman, novice, blacks and slay beasts. You know, I'm about to open the caverns, and Hehan and Asmel will go wandering out into the caverns. They may survive, they may not. Let's go ahead and let Hehan in. Hopefully not regret that later. Did I know I manually made some meals, but our food is pretty high right now, so maybe I should just get some meal. I don't have any automated cooking going on. So let's go ahead. Since we have so much, let's start making lavish meals. And let's always have, say, 50 prepared meals on hand. Does anybody have good cooking experience yet? Nope, nobody is skilled at cooking yet. Maybe we'll get a, you know, Maybe we can assign Mouthful as just a peasant. They don't have any skills in anything right now. Let's go look at Mouthful again and see. Where are you, Mouthful? There you are. Let's go look at Mouthful's description. She's very fat. Has very low cheekbones. Her hair is clean shaven. She has a high voice. Her nose is broad. Her hair is dark tan. Her skin is pale brown. Her eyes are aquamarine. Now, I used to live in Austin, Texas, and there was a restaurant that I used to go to for lunch when I was working, and there was a sign in that restaurant, and it always said, "Don't eat at restaurants where you don't have a fat cook." So, because she's very fat, I'm gonna train her as my cook. So let's go back into our work orders. Let's go find that prepare lavish meal. Okay, we have that set up. Let's go back into labor. Let's go down to the cooking one that I set up before and saved off. And let's go find Mouthful. So only Mouthful is going to start learning how to cook. I just want to eyeball here and make sure we are only down to one empty barrel. So let's make some rock pots. I tend to not put rock pots or barrels onto a reoccurring work order because barrels get emptied. Like this barrel was in the bar, they drank all the alcohol, the barrel's now empty and can be reused. And while I was down to one barrel, if I set an automated reoccurring barrel production, I would just end up with way too many barrels. So I usually don't set that. I usually just come and make 10 at a time. I have plenty of bins, it looks like. I might be a little bit over binned. We can go ahead and let's make this stockpile a little bit bigger. Let's also go ahead and start laying down our train track. So we want to carve a track in stone floor. Tracks are used by minecarts with routes set into the hauling system. So we're gonna do a train track. I'm just holding the mouse button down and I'm coming down in Z levels. So something like this. Something like that. Okay. So here if I look at my spiral, let's bring it over in the middle a little bit more. I can see that they're gonna carve a track. And let's bring it out into the room, something like that. They'll connect that up. What I'm also going to want to do is I mentioned a long time ago, maybe in episode 2 or 3, I don't want dwarves using this route to walk down. I just want the minecart being pushed by a dwarf. Because the dwarf's going to be pushing a minecart on this track, I don't want them accidentally running over another dwarf and somebody getting hurt. So we're going to prioritize or deprioritize this path for foot traffic. And we will prioritize our dwarfs to actually come up the stairs. I just did notice while I was coming down there's some webs here on the ground. So because I have opened the caverns, we do have some spiders wandering around, just normal size spiders, not dangerous, down in this general area, and they're leaving webs on the ground. And so I can, let's do that. Let's go back into our standing orders, come into automated workshops, and we're going to say, let's automatically collect some webs. Automatically weave all thread. So we can take a look here and see, yep, already it's already being collected. Now that we've turned that on, someone's going over to the loom. They'll come grab this web. Here they're taking it to the loom. Well, they'll probably take it to the storeroom first. Nope, right to the loom. Come into the loom. So now it's in the loom. So now if I watch the loom, weave thread into silk. So now I'm going to start doing some silk production, which is really nice that that's all automatically happening for me. Here we go. Zazit's coming. Gonna start making some silk. That'll be really handy when later we're gonna need a lot of bags. We made some cheese. I bet we're getting a good stock, probably alpaca cheese, I would guess by now. Let's take a look real quick, see if we can see. Yeah, there's some alpaca milk. There's a cheese barrel. Alpaca cheese, donkey cheese, just like Zazit ate when she ran inside starving. Got a lot of donkey cheese. We got a lot of alpaca cheese building up. That's great. That'll be good food supply. And then Mouthful is here starting to make food. So with making those lavish meals, Mouthful is going to go grab 4 different ingredients and mix those into a meal, which people will be really happy eating a meal like that. So we got the cheese. We have a spearman visiting. They've collected all the webs that they saw on the ground that they have access to. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off because we're going to open up the caverns to let our intrepid explorers go out and look around. So we had started setting up a room right here. There's another web on the ground, but that's all right. We will... we were originally thinking about putting a door here, dropping some walls in. Let's go ahead and just make a door over here. They'll be able to... that's kind of close to that drop. I don't want a dwarf to like pop out the door and see something scary and run back and fall. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll pop a hole and we'll put a wall here to keep dwarves from falling. Yeah. Let's do something. Give us some space. I'm going to do a little bit of a zigzag pattern because I want to line this with traps. So maybe if we do something like this. This is just basically a safety precaution. You know, while we're here, we should probably set up a Forgotten Beast web farm trap. In case we do get a Forgotten Beast, we can trap it, and if it happens to be a Forgotten Beast that can shoot webs, we can set up a web farm. Let's not open it right now. let's prepare wisely. So basically, to set up a web farm, I am going to need a hallway for our forgotten beast. I'm going to need this will be blocked in, and then I will have, I might have to erase this and redraw it, but yep, didn't have enough space. So let's do it this way. So let's forgotten beast. Something like this. I'll have the forgotten beast right here, trapped right here in the middle. I'm gonna have some perforated walls so that the beast can see through. And then I'm gonna have a bridge that I can open and close, and then I'll have an open room for my bait. So that's a bait room. And so then I need to make an access path. I need a exit out here, exit out here. Give it an extra little gap there. Let's actually make this a room. So this will be the control room. Our train track is all laid down. We'll go ahead and leave that. See, that was the spider. I saw the spider on the stairwell for just a second. There's one. A cave spider. Laying webs. I have another petition. Okay, this pool. Wish to survive in PickWrung for the purpose of soldiering. This poll let's go look at this poll. Another human. They want to come and work as a mercenary. I don't think I'm gonna let this bull in. One, they're a human, and I don't think our other human is going to probably survive that long, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. We are getting some people being able to every once in a while go to the bar and hang out. Who is... I'm guessing Zazit is... Yep, Zazit's normal. Zazit, very stoic. Hihan is not happy. Well, we'll try and make Hihan happy. We're gonna go ahead and put some traps down, cage traps. I'm gonna put down quite a bit of cage traps just because going to put a lot of doors down here too. Just because we did see a troglodyte in the caverns wandering around, and they can be in large batches. You'll also notice I don't put the traps right on the corner. Like if we watch Zazit here for a moment, let's see where Zazit's going. So as you right when Zazit went around this corner, Zazit stepped from this spot here to this spot. Zazit didn't actually step in this corner spot. So if I put a trap here, I will never really ever catch anything. So that's why I have my traps kind of spread out for not being put in corners. Some white jade. So they're just going to clear out some of this rock. What I want to do is I want to build fortifications like this. Now it'll be really interesting at some point, I'm guessing we will get back to having creatures, destroyers that will knock down these doors, and they'll make it a lot more tricky because then I'll have to use bridges for these. Right now I can seal in a forgotten beast pretty easily, but later I probably won't be able to. So I'd like to open up a little bit more visual area too, so let's just do a little peephole right here. I want to be able to see without there being too much danger what the caverns look like. So first, to order to make a peephole, I need to smooth that wall out. Someone should come along and smooth. They're probably all too busy doing other stuff. Making rock doors. One of those donkeys grew up. Is that just making sure we don't have any male donkeys, because I want to focus on just the alpacas. Well, once they smooth that wall up, we will put a peephole out there. But that's the downside of having such a small population. I don't like that wheelbarrow is just sitting here. I'm going to forbid these rocks in it. So the wheelbarrow got abandoned, which can get the wheelbarrow into a bad state. And someone would come and they would pick up the wheelbarrow with its shale in the wheelbarrow and carry it really slowly back. And so I'm going to just forbid those rocks real quick. Or I trashed them. Yep, I sent them to the trash. So now this wheelbarrow doesn't have anything in it. Someone will still come and grab the wheelbarrow and haul it, but it won't be full of stone and shouldn't be that heavy. They're getting our fortification up. The fortification is just like this peephole. I'm going to build right here. I'm just manually building fortifications, where here I'm going to carve basically a fortification and a hole out just so I can see and open up this area. I think I do need to go ahead. Let's set up a stockpile here. And this one is stone, economic, chalk. So what I want them to do is I want them to start collecting all the chalk in this room, putting it in the stockpile so that I can set up a, let's build construction track stop. I'm gonna put a track stop right here. Did I grab the wrong one? Yeah, I just grabbed track instead of track stop. We don't need it to dump. This is a loading track stop. And then also I am going to set a new hotkey. So my F3 should bring me here. So right now if I do an F2, I come here. If I do an F1, I come above ground. You can see our garden is starting to produce. Come back down here, I can immediately just automatically jump to where we're getting our chalk. Let's also, we'll increase some wheelbarrows. Wooden wheelbarrows. Let's make 4. Did we ever smooth that wall? Nope, we haven't smoothed. Too few dwarfs, too much work. Just like working in an office. I end up putting a lot of doors around these types of, when we're dealing with forgotten beasts. You want to be very cautious. Shearing some animals. Hey, spring. Sweet. Maybe our river will thaw and we can finally irrigate those indoor farms and get some mushrooms growing. I just noticed Bomrek is walking really slow. Let's see why. Bomrek's hauling a nickel cage down here to these traps. I may eventually have to do something about that and just destroy all the metal cages. Just because wood is so much more efficient for carrying. So this will be a safety door so that I can open and close access to the caverns. Wheelbarrows have been made. They're making some more rock mechanisms because I was putting in these traps. Let's go see. Okay, we do have a good number of traps remaining. We don't need to make any more right now. We do want to set up another track stop. This one we want as a dumping trap stop. And we'll just put it right here. And then we'll put a stockpile. This will automatically be a quantum. Just because that wheelbarrow is going to come up and dump. And so we want stone, economic, chalk. We don't need to gather from everywhere. We don't need wheelbarrows. Let's go look at our... Okay. Hey. So this this button I just hit here shows me the depth of the water. So like this is 7 deep. This is 2 deep. So the water is just flowing into these 2 little rooms here. So let's go ahead. I like seeing the water flowing. Now, since this river hasn't fully thawed, it's just thawed in this little patch here. So that's why we have, we're slowly emptying out this basic pond because it doesn't have any inflow. I think the inflow is probably coming from this side. Once this thaws like right here, then this will fill up and we'll get this will fill up a lot quicker once we get a little more thaw. Just needs to warm up a little bit more. Okay, how are we doing? We do have some people hanging out in the bar. I think they're just visitor types. Ming, she heard the crystalline dumplings was the place to enjoy oneself. Yes, yes it is. It's just if anybody had time to enjoy themselves, they would be here. We got this track stop set up. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and set the restricted traffic area. So I'm right here, set high and low traffic areas. So I really want to set restricted traffic area. And I want to come draw all of this. I don't want them using this for walking. I just want the minecart. That's all I want. Let's go ahead and set up the minecart. I'm going to add a new route. I think I have a minecart available. Let's do that. Yep, I have one minecart left. I'll have to make some more later. This minecart is only going to be hauling chalk. We're going to be taking from this stockpile here. And then we're going to guide. Let's go ahead. We're going to go down to 1. We're going to guide off to that direction, to the right. And we're going to push it. When it's at 75%. So you're going to load it up with stone, with chalk, up to 75%. And then once it's at 75%, it will guide it east. And then they'll go up the ramp. And then we will come up here to the other end. We're going to add, in the same rule here, we're going to add a rule to the second track stop. And on this second track stop, this one, they're going to come up and they're going to dump. And then we want them to push east when this minecart is at 0. So the minecart will come up loaded, be auto dumped, it's empty, and then someone's going to guide the minecart back down the track. We don't need to set this one to anything in particular. Should be all fine there. We don't need to set anything here because that minecart's going to be empty. See, why are you walking slow? Because you're hauling one of those metal cages. Damn you, metal cages. Okay, we're only down to probably Zaz. It's probably the only one that's not in a joyful mood. We should probably also set up a quantum stockpile here for metal. I do have some metal pieces just laying around, and it will speed things up later when I start processing metal if the metal's all in one spot. So we do need another wooden minecart, and we'll just go ahead and put 4 on hand. Just to have them. We'll come to this stockpile and we will adjust it. We don't need to adjust it. We have space right here. We can just set the quantum stockpile right here. So let's do that. We want a track stop. And we want a new stockpile right here. And this one will be stone. But we're not going to do any economic. We're not going to do any others. We're not going to do any clay. We're just doing metal ores. Okay. We don't want that to gather. We don't want any wheelbarrows. Everybody's still running. Let's go see where you're going. Store item in vehicle. Are you coming to load chalk? Yep. Okay, so the minecart is getting buildup of chalk. So let's put a camera on this minecart. Getting a good buildup of chalk. At some point, this will be at that 75%. Oh, here we go. Pushing the minecart. And empty. Minecart's empty. We'll just keep a camera on it. Oh, pushing the empty minecart back down. Hey! We did have an unfortunate thing there where I did see a dwarf using this path. So it's not completely dwarf proof. And somebody may get hurt. But that's what we have the hospital for. So they're going to come and they're going to collect all of this chalk and send it upstairs. It looks pretty good. It's one way to move a lot of stone. Ilral wants to join for eradicating monsters. So remember that last one was for soldiering, so they just wanted to guard the fort, not really explore eradicating monsters, and that's kind of why I didn't let them join, because I knew soldering they would be around for a long time, and I'd have to clothe them and I'd have to put armor on them and make into different sizes. So with Ilral, let's go see what species Ilral is. Ilral is a mace dwarf. Competent mace dwarf. Let's go ahead and let you join. Did somebody just drop a bucket of water? Yep. Someone just dropped a random bucket of water. There's a piece of wall missing. It's probably a gemstone that I collected out of there earlier and never fixed. We are starting to get some clothing being strewn on the floors. It has this little X on it, meaning that it's showing some wear. So we do want to go ahead and start putting some storage space for our dwarves in their bedroom so that they start putting away anything. Otherwise, we'll get this clutter. So we can create some work orders. I think we have beds, tables, chairs, doors. Coffers. We do have coffers. We want some rock cabinets. This is a good sign. People are being able to come down here to do some praying. That means we're not overworking everybody. And I think probably this medium happiness person is probably Earl. Yep. Earl just joined, so they were in a medium mood, and now they're going to be praying, drinking alcohol, eating good meals, and fight. So let's see. We're pretty much set up here. We did smooth that wall, so let me show you that real quick. We're going to carve a gap in a smooth wall. So basically it's going to make this be a fortification. I also want to build some bridges. We want a bridge here. And we want a bridge here. And we want a lever here. Might as well do 2 levers, one for each side. As soon as this is carved, it's going to open up a whole bunch of area because we can see through. Ah, there we go. Now we can start seeing a better idea of what's out in our cavern, how big our cavern is. We'll get a big list like this. We just exposed a whole bunch of cavern, and every place that, let's say this struck yellow diamond. So that yellow diamond is in this interesting pillar of gemstones. So we have diamond, red diamond, black diamond, green diamond, obsidian. So obsidian is interesting because that's going to be where lava and water meet together. At some point in the past, lava and water met together and made obsidian. And so this looks like it might be a tube. Right here in the middle might actually be still lava flowing, but my guess, more than likely, it's old and ancient and no longer has any lava in it. But these tubes are a good sign that we are getting closer to some lava. It might be good to dig down and see. Is there any really interesting stone here? A lot of good, expensive gemstones that would be good to mine out for trading later. So this peephole is no longer really needed. So I am going to wall it off for safety. I don't want any thing to be able to shoot through here. Some migrants have arrived. Yay. See, our population just skyrocketed up to 25. So they are coming in hot. Let's see. There's a trail. There's some kids. Let's come up to see if looks like we got some crows. This is just our bookkeeper. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any migrants. I like looking at my migrants as they come in and see what good people I have joining. It's Mouthful, Daycost, Zazit. I think everybody is just running up and grabbing these giant crows flew in our door. So I think what I'm going to quickly do is go ahead and add giant crow here. And remove giant crows from here. Doesn't look like any of our migrants actually made it to our front door yet, which gives us the opportunity to sit here and look at some migrants. Let's see what we got. That'll really be helpful. Okay, we got Kel, a mechanic, adept mechanic, novice optics engineer. Kel values decorum, values sacrifice, intemperate, hateful, sickly, high social awareness. We're up to 30 already. We only have 40 bedrooms set up right now, so we're going to have to fix that. So Kel's wife, Mesthios, looks like they have 4 children. We'll see if they brought all 4 of those children with them. High stamina, stubborn, frail, weak, loner. Values stoicism. Is that stoicism or stoicism? I think it's stoicism. Let's see. Aban, new arrival, child, 9 years old. There's Kel and Mesthios. Looks like their aunt Dakost was already here, and uncle Lykot was already here, and a cousin Vukar was already here. That's good. Getting some family in case anybody has a need for wanting to be around family. Aban is good with language, just trustful, disdains cooperation. That's not great for a kid. Not dutiful, resilient, overcautious. We got Usher. Usher is also one of Kel and Mythos's children. Usher is zany. Hey, that's like me. High kinesthetic sense, disdains commerce, strong, lustful, and clumsy. Okay, we got Asab. Asab is a fisher dwarf. Asab currently has 2 lovers. Let's see if any Ablal is their older sister. We have Ming, who joined us, is a half-sister. Rawl is a niece. Disdains power, values tranquility, low willpower, scatterbrained, unswayed by emotions, and curious. I think once we get these migrants in, that will be the episode. But let's go ahead and keep checking them. We have Abel, she's a spinner. She has good intuition. She's rude, inattentive, sickly, fact-orientated, poor analytical ability. That'll be nice for spinning. So that will be taking those spider webs and making them into silk. Ilral is a presser. That will be lovely for when we start making the dye. Hopefully we get around to that at some point. Ilral values romance, disdains knowledge, values eloquence, frail, poor kinesthetic sense, and agile. We have Urist Kithlogam, animal trainer, otherwise known as Urist Cactus Paints. They are animal trainer and a fish cleaner, disdains hard work, disdains friendship, Disdains truth. Ooh. Humorless, agile, orderly. We're at 35. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some more bedrooms. Another Dakust. Weaponsmith. Adequate weaponsmith. Values artwork. Disdains self-control. Strong, patient, recovers slowly, inattentive. We got another Lycott. Peasant. Maybe these are the same Lycotts because I think that was just when I was reading through the family. They had just joined. So values perseverance, resists sickness, values eloquence, not greedy, not inclined to create art, a loner. Now this one's interesting because right when a dwarf child turns 18, they become a peasant, which means that they're unskilled at the age of 18, have never done any type of mining or fishing or anything, never learned a skill. At 18, completely expected. And I'll keep on saying, at 18, they are a peasant. Lycott is 47 years old and has not ever done anything. We will definitely get that changed and get Lycott working. Looks like we got Zolban, a duckling. Zon, another animal trainer. High master animal trainer. That'll be good for quickly training up those crows and any other animals we get. Disdains independence, disdains nature, good with language, inattentive. Inattentive seems like a reoccurring theme. Disdains romance. Strong. Obak. Competent engraver, competent mason, competent stonecutter, competent stone carver, novice waxworker. Disdains commerce, values competition, high social awareness, poor focus, ambitious, and a good memory. Ming, fisher dwarf, disdains stoicism, cheerful, poor focus, poor memory, quarreler, might start a fight, is frail. Well, at least if they start a fight, they're frail and would probably lose. Toulon, the clothier. She looks like she's ambitious, high social awareness. She's trusting. She's not dutiful. She disdains harmony, private. We're up at 39 population. It is playing out like I thought it would, where we didn't get any migrants for a couple seasons, and now we are getting a bunch of migrants at the same time. We got a turkey, a male turkey. It's a poult, so it's a baby male turkey. We got Thath, disdains self-control, extravagant, bad with words, intolerant, acquiescing, good focus. And she is a stoneworker. She also has a mason, furnace operating. She's a novice beekeeper, stone cutting, stone carving. If you have a combination like this, then they'll just be a general stone worker. So they can basically do a lot of different things. We have Udib, a ranger. They're a skilled animal trainer, a skilled animal caretaker, animal dissector, trapper, shearer. They are fearless. They disdain romance. Disdains leisure time, poor kinesthetic sense, low willpower, poor focus. They do have some bow skill on them, which is nice. We got another Ming. This one's a glazer. That is making pottery, and they're a high master glazer. They are also an animal caretaker, a bowyer, diagnostician, so that will be good for our doctor's office. Novice record keeper. They disdain friendship. Seeks harmony, poor spatial sense, poor kinesthetic sense, easily stressed, and lustful. We got Rimtar, a crafts dwarf. Weaver, clothier, a strand extractor. Strand extractor will be very important late game. Novice stone crafter, glassmaker, leather worker. Values tranquility, musical, values introspection, trusting, high willpower, recovers quickly. Unib, peasant, unskilled. Well, they have some doctor skills, so they're a peasant, but they have trained in some medical. Values martial prowess, not ambitious, weak, creative, anger-prone, gregarious. Athel, peasant, no skills. 86-year-old peasant. Wow. Values introspection, not musical. Values tradition, disdains law, tough and clumsy. Wow. Adel, a new arrival, furnace operator, suturer. It's good that we're getting a lot of medical skills. Values introspection, disdains competition, recovers slowly, is wasteful, is hateful, is anxious. Thikut, 79-year-old, has a child, Kogan. Disdains friendship, patient, overconfident, strong, not ambitious, and tough. High Master Miner. Let's go ahead and put you on mining duty right away. Okay. Blacksmith, lie maker, shearer, gelder. Here's Kogan. This is Thikut's child. Values leisure time, as children should. A good intuition, high willpower, disdains competition. Quick to give up, as I have seen some children do, is clumsy. And is I'm doing all right. Is that it? Is that all we got? Yep. All we got, 43. Wow. Okay, let's just check real quick if I don't think. Okay, so we got some puppies, we got a horse and a baby llama. So let's go ahead and put the puppies here and the horse here. We got the poult and the duckling, which will go down into the downstairs. We did get a baby llama that's wandering around. So let's go put that baby llama in here. Let's go put our birds in the bird room. Oh, I can never remember the what is the name for bird room? There's a specific name for a room that you keep your birds in. Okay, so we have 43 people. We have 10, 20, 30, 40 bedrooms. Fortunately, some of these are husbands and wives with children, so it's not taking all 40 of our bedrooms. But I think in the next episode, we will 100% need to set up another set of bedrooms. We should probably also start getting prepared for needing more office space. We'll probably set up a second tavern. We'll want to start processing this chalk into steel. And let's go ahead and do this part real quick just to get our farm going before I close out for the day. So I have the rooms here. I have these little rooms. Let's find the show link building. Let's go here. Let's pull this lever. This should close both of these. So now we have this room here. Now this room is a 3x3, so this is 9 squares plus 1, so it's 10 squares, okay? I have a 7x7 room here, and this should be enough water to put at least 1 square of water on all of these spots here. So what I want to do now, this is blocked off, so we're only going to get the water that's in these. So let's show linked building. Let's come down to this switch here, pull this switch. Now we should see someone come along, grab this lever. Here we go. Pulled the lever. The water's coming out of these rooms, filling up these rooms. We have some mostly 1s and 2s, which is great. This water will now evaporate. We're starting getting a dusting of mud in some of that open area, or like right there, you see a dusting of mud. all we need to do is wait for this water to evaporate. And we should have a room filled with mud. And when we plant, our plants should do really well. The only other thing that we could do is make some fertilizer. But this right here and the farm upstairs and the meat that we have on hand so far, and the fact that we have all these llamas producing milk, we're going to be set for food for as large as this fort will get. Hopefully we'll get to around 300 individual dwarfs. So I think we almost have our farm set up, which is great. So we do have that chalk collecting. We can start making some steel. We can start assigning some people to actually start training as military to protect us. I think it was a really good episode this time. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thank you.